going on, SportzMafia fans?
Hey, how are you doing, guys?
Karsten, bro, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Nice little setup here.
I know, right, dude? Everything's looking nice. It's brand new. I'm loving it. Season 2, episode 1, coming in full effect.
The reboot.
Yeah, right. Well, welcome back, everybody. Man, we're super excited to be here today. Right? What do we got going on today, Karsten?
Well, first of all, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
Excited?
Dude, yeah, I'm ready. I'm a little bummed, but we'll get to that here in a few moments.
I'm sure that's what everyone's waiting for.
Yeah, to hear David's rant. That's why everybody comes here is to listen to my rants.
Hey, man, you gotta have something. So, just gonna do a couple headline things. Not really even headlines, just a couple things to touch on before we get into football completely almost, and then finish up with a little bit of NBA stuff. Mostly 70-point scores, because it's kind of a thing now.
That's huge.
It's massive, man.
I know, man. It's crazy to me that there's not more players that have done the 70 points. And it's also kind of like a big achievement award because not a lot of people have. But I mean, like if you're somebody like Chamberlain, who's been doing it he's on there, I think, 7 times, 8 times almost? He's in there 6 or 7 times, I think. He did it in like 62, 3 times in a row. Like that's ridiculous. It's a big honor, but you would think that more NBA players, for how the league has evolved with like LeBron, the Jordans, the Reggie Millers, so on and so forth, Dwight Howard, like you would think that there'd be more people on there.
Yeah, I mean, scoring's gone up, and not surprised that it's happened more often lately, but
it's crazy.
We will get into that here shortly for you.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just start with something that was kind of funny. Basically, Kelsey kicking Justin Tucker's helmet before the start of the Chiefs-Ravens game.
And you guys are all here to listen to the rant too, so I mean, you're all gonna hear it. But let's show the video of what went down.
Hey, technology.
Love it. All right, so Mahomes drops back, throws a little sidearm, and here's Kelsey grabbing the balls in the helmet and just chucking them.
Yeah, get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Future Hall of Famer. Well, Tucker might make it.
I don't know, man. I mean,
has a kicker ever made the Hall of Fame?
I think so. I think,
let's see.
I think it's Sebastian Janikowski from the Oakland Raiders.
That would be my pick if it happened.
Or there was a dude that had a club foot. I think he may have too. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh, apparently 4 of them have made it.
4 kickers have made it. Buy gear. Heather, buy gear. How many kickers have made the list?
Sebastian Janikowski, of course, we just mentioned.
Is one?
That's one. Let's see.
You would think that Jason Hansen? Question mark? Pat McVeigh?
Jason Hansen? Yeah, it's possible.
Adam Vinatieri?
Well, this website sucks. Hang on.
This website sucks. Hold on. But I would imagine it's so hard to get in the Hall of Fame for pro football. Oh,
they put 5 dudes in, and a kicker's going to take a spot. That's pretty wild.
That's insane.
Let's see here. Oh, Vinatieri, probably.
Oh, yeah. Adam Vinatieri for sure. There's one.
Morton Anderson. He was around my entire childhood for the Saints. Looks like he made it in 2017. Luke Garaz in the 70s. I don't know who that is.
I'm too
George
young.
Blanton. I think he was the one with the club foot.
Yep, that was him. That was the guy with the club foot.
Class 81 when I was born. So most of those kickers, except for the 2 of them, were before my time.
That's nuts. But I mean, I do gotta say this though, real fast. That is kind of like unsportsmanship, like to walk over.
I would say that's sportsmanship.
I'll tell you what. If I was one of the Ravens players, I would have ran over there and said, "What's up?" I would have took Mahomes and Kelsey. And you know what the funny thing is? That if they both would have punched me, or if I would have pushed them and they retaliated, guess who doesn't play? Mahomes.
Yes, exactly.
That's the whole strategy.
If I'm the kicker, I'm willing to take myself out for Mahomes. Easy.
Oh, yeah.
Kelsey. Yeah, I mean, you can get yourself eliminated. I'd have, your backup 4th string running back come out there
yeah.
and tackle some dude.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna see the field anyways.
Yeah, you might as well just go out there and just have a little fun with
Just
Mahomes
try to
and
provoke
Kelsey.
them to punch you in the face.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Nah, I agree with you.
You know, the Ravens would send you a fat little check on the side after paying
Oh
your
yeah,
fine.
For sure. I mean, if I was the owner, I would put a bounty out. I would have a bounty out.
You know how that worked.
Yeah. I mean, what's his face did it over there at the Saints?
I've read,
Sean Payton put a bounty on what's his
face?
It
wasn't Sean Payton. It was his defensive coordinator. I'm trying to remember who it was. But yeah, he put a bounty on players back in the day to injure them.
And then he would give them like a $50,000 bonus or something crazy like that.
Pretty nasty. That stuff's not going to fly anymore these days.
Oh, yeah. So the Twins did something big in a trade this week. Actually, it was today, wasn't it? Or yesterday?
Last night.
It was last night. At what time?
I think I caught that around like 8 or 9 in the evening.
Oh, wow. So it was kind of late at night. Well, I'm going to let you take the reins on this one. So who?
Yeah, so my Mariners picked up Jorge Polanco for 5 players with counting him. So for basically a prospect swing for basically a proven vet with a little bit of injury history, but it definitely adds a little pop for the Mariners where Minnesota is trying to shed some payroll. Basically, they gave up Gabriel Gonzalez, which is kind of the big Venezuelan boy, the big power. They'll probably come to bite us in the ass on this trade, but he's involved. Justin Topa, pretty good reliever on the Mariners. Anthony Diashnani, whatever.
Shalafini.
I shouldn't be allowed to try to pronounce sports names sometimes.
Salafini.
We just got him from Arizona and then told him to get lost immediately. And then minor league pitcher Darren Bowen, who you never know with these guys.
So I really do feel like that this will help the Mariners out big time because you do have Julio Rodriguez and J.P. Crawford. I think that this puts you guys in a better position on the offensive side. It does give you a really good second baseman. Dude, I just feel like that anyway, that this is going to be a good year for the Mariners.
Yeah, I mean, like, they have an incredible pitching staff, so you just need to make the offense above average if possible. They added Mitch Garver from Texas, a very good hitting catcher, who will now play DH, along with Cal Raleigh, who is one of the few guys that hit 30 homers from the catching spot. So the lineup's looking pretty good. Projected lineup right now is Crawford, Rodriguez, Polanco, Garver, Raleigh, Ty France, Lou Rayleigh, who we got from Tampa, Mitch Kanger that we got back from San Francisco.
Yep.
And I think they're going to platoon the third base with Josh Rojas and I don't know the other guy is right in the moment. But I kind of wanted just to let Mariner fans like kind of chill out. They're very mad at the front office for not spending buco bucks. But there's only like 4 or 5 teams in the league that have that kind of money. And
Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, Texas, yep.
It's New York, California, Texas markets, sometimes Florida. We're not one of those teams. So
I mean, I feel like that the Miami out of everyone on the East Coast, I feel like that the Yankees have the better opportunity to go out and pick up big name guys. I mean, like you see what they were been doing for the past over 10 years trying to get big name people and sign them. I think that this Jose Polanco trade is a really, really, really outstanding trade. I mean, I think that it's like an AA plus for sure, 100%. It gives you guys a better opportunity on the offense and defensive side. Well, but when you look at the Dodgers, though, signing O'Shea Ohtani to billions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, dude? And it's like, well, let me just give you $2 million for 10 years and then, or let me give you $2 million for the next 10 years and then let me pay you out $64 million when you're not playing.
I mean, it's obviously Los Angeles has got to be the favorites going in. Well, you see a lot of the teams this is probably the slowest free agency I've ever seen. And a lot of it's doing because of the local TV contracts. They're not quite sure if they're going to dry up or not. So they're trying to save their resources right now. So you're seeing something like this kind of trade where they're dumping the guy they're paying quite a bit to shed payroll, basically. So Mariners actually are making moves where a lot of teams aren't making any. So I would like I love you, Mariner fans. I know we want it, but just chill out a little bit. Like, we have an elite starting pitching.
Mm-hmm.
We might need another closer or two, or a relief bullpen help. But this team's set up to be a good 85, 87 win kind of team.
Oh, yeah.
Sniff the playoffs, maybe in, maybe out. So that's more than you can ask, especially when your team's been out of the playoffs for 20 years prior to 2 years ago when we got in for once.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. I just see a lot of vitriol towards our Jerry DePota about not spending enough. It's not his. He's not the one. If he could write a blank check to anyone, maybe we have Ohtani, but it's not how this works. So I think it's a good move for the Mariners. Very excited for baseball again.
Oh, yeah.
We're ending football into the baseball season here shortly. So, yeah.
It's great.
Good move. I really like it. Very excited.
Yeah, man. No, I am very excited to see what happens in baseball as well. Yeah. WWE Royal Rumble 2024.
I don't know. I like wrestling season. You get your Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania. It's just very entertaining. You can say it's childish. I don't really care.
Oh yeah.
But we got Cody Rhodes winning for the second time.
Oh yeah.
First guy since Stone Cold in the early 90s, mid 90s to win back to back. Obviously, he's going to be going after Roman. Bailey's going to be your champ for the women's. Probably going to wrestle maybe Rhea Ripley or her cohort, stable girl. And then Roman wins again, man.
Well, dude, it's actually pretty crazy because Roman Reigns puts his title on the line against AJ Styles, LA Knight, Randy Orton, right? They all have documented beef, though, with the Bloodline, correct?
Oh, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what the Bloodline, who is the Bloodline, who is part of that Roman Reigns Bloodline family?
So it's Jay and Jimmy Uso.
Okay.
Or his cousins, who are twin brothers. And they have Paul Heyman, which is not related to them, but he's always associated himself with the best wrestlers on the planet.
Right.
So you kind of got that group. And then Solo Sikoa, which is another a brother, not a twin brother, but a brother of the Jimmy and Jay. So that makes up the Bloodline. Jay went on his own, kind of disassociated himself after being bullied by Roman. He's doing really well. You can see the crowd literally loves him.
Right.
And now the big twist is that they're all related to The Rock. And there's a lot of rumors that The Rock will be at WrestleMania. He mentioned something about the head of the table, so we might.
Why not?
We might get Roman, Rock, or some kind of.
It's a blockbuster move. Yeah. Everyone's gonna buy the pay-per-view just to watch The Rock come back into this place.
Wrestling is a big business, and you can pass The Rock to WrestleMania. Somehow with Cody, I'm sure they'll figure something out in the next couple months, but. Pretty exciting. The show itself wasn't the best I've ever seen, but it was entertaining. It was entertaining to see people get thrown around and hot women.
And hot women. Well, so Logan Paul went up against Kevin Owens. He also put the United States Championship on the line against Kevin Owens. So out of every match that you watched, what was the best match of them all?
So it was weird because there was only 4 on the whole card. I would say probably the women's Rumble, which is hard for. It's weird, but this is kind of where we're at with wrestling right now. This girl named Jade Cardwell, if you've never seen her, she is muscles among muscles. She made her debut and she looked awesome. It was just more interesting. Had more just like people coming back. Just a little more unpredictable than the men's, which it came down to CM Punk and Cody. And then apparently Punk got hurt for another 4 to 6 months after that match. He looked gassed, to be honest. So they're probably really lucky that they went with Cody there.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, road to WrestleMania. It's going to be fun. I'll only mention the other 2 pay-per-views, and then usually I put it on the back burner until SummerSlam, and that's about it.
Yeah, SummerSlam is like, so I'm not really a big wrestling fan, but when it does come to watching certain ones, SummerSlam is one of them, the Royal Rumble, and of course my favorite one is tables, ladders, and chairs.
Yeah. Wrestling's got to a point where like I don't watch the the Raws and your SmackDowns. I just watch pay-per-views. You can pretty much catch everything they do, and get good matches. So, yeah, pretty good.
Awesome, man. Kansas City Chiefs. Baltimore Ravens. AFC matchup. Big AFC matchup. Everybody thought the Ravens was going to have this based off of one reason. Lamar Jackson, the Martian, the unpredictable.
They had a really good team this year.
They did. I will give them that 100%. But I want to touch base on one quick thing. The Baltimore Ravens has been a run-heavy offense for a very long time now. I mean, Lamar gets about, 10, 12 carries, sometimes 50 to 100 yards, over 100 yards rushing. They dropped back 82%. They were passing 82% because they felt like that they had to beat them on the pass. When you have a defense such as the Chiefs, when they only have one front guy, and that's Chris Jones, hands down. There's nobody else on that front four that is going to be a big threat. So why wouldn't you just run the ball up the gut and just kind of tone them down a little bit?
Well, I don't know why they abandoned the running game completely. I mean, they didn't even try to get it going. And you got Gus Edwards with 3 carries. Justice Hill with 3.
Yep.
Lamar with 8. Your whole identity all year has been running the football. And you show up with a game plan to really hurt Lamar, I feel like. Lamar's a great QB in my opinion, but you can't put all...
You can't put the whole thing on him. Absolutely not.
No one should be doing what he just did.
Right, 100%. And I'm super...
Even Patrick.
Right. But when you look at the rushing attempts on the other side, 24 for Isaiah Pacheco and only 68 yards.
Doesn't matter. This is keeping things balanced. Now, the Chiefs' offense definitely got wrapped up in the second half. I mean, there was 3 points scored after halftime. So, the Chiefs looked really good out the gate. Kelsey looked just every bit of the Hall of Famer he's always had.
Oh, yeah.
He had an incredible first half. And then Baltimore just swallowed him up. Now, I don't understand why you wouldn't start. You weren't down at any point, massively, to stop running the football. So I'm just really, I mean, I'm not the only person to say this, but just very confused why you wouldn't stick to your strengths. What got you there? I was telling David earlier, when you abandon your identity and then you become one-dimensional, this is what happens.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, dude, Derek, 100%, man. I do agree with that fumble that Flowers did in the end zone was the biggest dagger. But I do want to touch on this real fast. That interception that Lamar Jackson threw in the back of the end zone, I am super confused on why there was no flag thrown when the defender's back was turned to the quarterback. That's one pass interference when you're running towards him and even make a little bit of a contact. There was no flag on that play. They just pretty much whistled it dead, whistled it down.
Yeah, maybe there might have been a missed call, 1 or 2 in the game.
There was a lot.
But I don't think this one didn't feel like the refs were influencing it too much one way or the other, in my opinion, just because I didn't see... I just felt like the better team ultimately won this one. Because...
See, but I feel like that the refs screw every team that plays against the Chiefs in big games. Super Bowl last year, let's look at that. Let's also look at back when they played the Bills. Also, not last year, but the year before that. There was no calls there as well. A lot of the false starts, a lot of holding calls. We'll get to the 49ers as well. The 49ers, you guys are not off the hook. Just wait. Just wait till we get there. The points across the board... What you should have been doing is running the ball. 16 attempts is not enough. You should be having at least 25 to 30 like you normally have been all season. You abandon your identity as the run game. That's why you're 13-4.
I mean, if you don't even run the ball, you can't set up play action.
Exactly.
It's the best thing you can do in football almost, especially someone like Lamar. So I'm very confused. I could point probably directly to that why Baltimore didn't win. You establish a running game and you're getting going and you're picking up 4, 5, 6 yards per carry, on first down, second down. You're putting yourself in 3rd and 4.
Yep.
You move that ball, make life easy for Jackson. I think Jackson had an incredible year. He's an awesome QB. He probably should have said something like, "Hey man, we need to take a little pressure off me here."
Yeah, 100%.
This is a stupid, stupid game plan.
Yep.
That Zay Flowers catch, flexing over the dude. I knew he was going to get flagged immediately for that, and it deserves.
Let him taunt. Let him have fun.
You can't spin the ball on the dude and then flex
Oh my
him.
gosh! So you're telling me that for years,
No,
the peace sign by Tyreek Hill, yeah, but they had to do it not last year, but the year before that. They had to ban it because he keeps doing it, and they felt that taunting isn't
we're
the
down
game.
and we can't do squat. Let's not do this right now.
Dude, I'm throwing the ball. If I made a big catch and it's 17-10 in the fourth quarter, and I make that big giant catch, I'm grabbing that ball, I'm spiking it, I'm getting the crowd ready, I'm flexing, dude, I'm going nuts. Spit's coming from my face,
15
snot
yards.
rolling down.
Boom.
Go ahead, guess what? And then guess what will happen? I'll get that 30-yard bomb back, and I'll do it again and again and again and again until I get that touchdown.
Dave's just letting you know that he should still be playing.
Yo, you put me in, I'm the next Nick Bosa. I'm slapping people and rapping. It's game over. Just let me get my knees back into shape, and I'll be good to go, Coach. Just let me know.
On a side note,
Go ahead.
CBS, you suck. Your broadcast, 6 dudes hanging out, making no points. Why are you paying all these guys? It's like we had 6 dudes in here and we're like trying to get a take in. I learned nothing. Their music's outdated. It sucks. There's no energy. Romo and Nance. I used to like Romo, but that batted pass and then Lamar caught it was cool. But he said it was one of the greatest plays of all time. I'm like, are you kidding me, man?
It was one of the greatest plays of all time.
Cool, man. He caught his own pass, which was cool. I'm not denying it wasn't.
But
like,
that was.
but it's not one of the greatest plays ever.
It's not,
he got
but it
like
was
8
awesome.
yards. Congratulations.
I think that the most impressive play out of the Ayuk and Lamar catch was Brandon Ayuk. Because that put them in to win the game. So let's just get this one over with.
Yeah, Derek. I don't know. I don't really want to be on that CBS thing. Actually, you could pay me millions, and I would have to do less work than I'm doing right now.
I know. You don't have to sit there and just go, Well, Tony. Tony. Damn it, Tony, shut up.
Tony. Yeah, he's a football player. I get it.
Yep.
Yeah, you're calling me. That's a football player there. Yeah. Cool, man. I don't get anything from him broadcasting anymore. And Jim Nance is about as stale as can be these days. Like, go do the Masters, go retire, get someone with some juice in there. I don't like CBS, and they got the Super Bowl, of course, this year.
Do you know what I hate listening to about Nance? He drops back. He's looking over the corner. It sounds like he's like still doing Tiger Woods coming to the green. Here he comes. He's putting.
Well, I'm glad we have someone in there trying to keep the integrity of the game going. You know, like. Guy looks at someone the wrong way. He's like, "Oh, this is the most devastating. You shouldn't be doing that kind of crap." Like, it's just like, shut up. On the flip hand, I thought Greg Olson, who I don't actually like because he was a horrible Seahawk, did a pretty good job at the Niners-Lions game.
Well, I mean, in all hindsight, he did come to you guys when it was towards the end of his career.
Yeah, but don't talk shit.
Yeah, okay.
Get on that Russell bandwagon and start talking crap about our team. Get out.
Since you say that, yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Not a fan. But he's a pretty good broadcaster who just lost his job to Tom Brady.
Oh, Tom is coming this year, isn't he?
Yeah, when you're paying him $345 million, yeah.
Well, I did hear something that he was thinking about taking 2 to 3 years off to like figure himself out or whatever. But
he's figured himself out. He's doing fine. Shit. Sorry. But Tom Brady has probably one of the coolest lives you could ever have.
Oh my gosh, I wish I had his life. I can just do nothing for the rest of my life.
Yeah, overall, I'm going to say the Chiefs-Ravens game, pretty boring overall. I
100%.
mean, just, I don't know, it was kind of dark and crappy in Georgia the other day too, and it's just, that game came on, there's no juice.
Yep.
It's like, I've seen this game before. I felt like and then just watching Baltimore self-implode. Like, you keep thinking, like, oh, they might get back in this. Nope. I'll give us, you gotta say, Chiefs defense pretty dang good, though. Pretty dang good.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. I mean,
I think that's a good reason why I would probably lean towards the Chiefs winning this year.
But now I don't want to hear anything about the script. I'm literally done hearing about the script because of people having the colors. Oh, it's going to be 49ers versus the Ravens. Well, we all knew that it wasn't going to be the 49ers versus the Ravens.
I think the next year one is neon
Purple,
green and purple.
Pink.
Let's go, script. That means the Seahawks are in there, baby.
Or it could mean the Jets. Or it could mean the Vikings. It could mean
the Jets
the Saints.
The Jets will make the Super Bowl when hell freezes over, buddy.
Well, that's going to happen very soon. When Rodgers comes back, it could happen. Because who knows what could have happened. I am excited for this next football season now because Aaron Rodgers is going to be like, I was irrelevant to everybody until week 15 when he was out there practicing. Then everybody wanted to show up and film him. Bro, he's going to be like, nah, not this shit. I'm ready. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, you know. I don't have a problem with her, Heather.
I hate it. Literally 30 seconds a game is too much to show T Swift. I am literally sick of it. Ever since they started dating and she's been showing up to the games, it's been constantly nonstop. ESPN shows a touchdown of Travis Kelce catching a touchdown. They go, oh yeah, Travis Kelce catches a touchdown, Taylor Swift on ESPN. No, please stop. I'm sick of it.
That game had 55 million viewers.
That's fine.
55 million. There's people not even never watch football.
That's fine. Look, I am all
for like 10 seconds.
I am all for people coming in and enjoying a sport that has never watched a sporting event in their lifetime, and they finally come over just to see Taylor Swift for 30 seconds and they stay and watch the whole game. I'm awesome with that.
Is that even her fault? She's just at the game.
No, it's not her fault.
Well, then let's not get mad at her.
I'm mad at the NFL. Stop. Look, don't get me wrong, guys. I love T Swift, okay? Swifties, I love T.
Yeah,
okay?
I don't want any of that Swiftie hate, by the way. Good job for her.
But, dude, no.
1 second.
Not a chance. Where are you going? The bathroom?
No. Just off camera.
Oh, okay. I was like, hey, you can say, look, can we take a break for a hot second?
No, I broke the seal, but I'm good.
All right. Well, Carson broke the seal. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Here we go, and we're ready. Tell them, Karsten, Heather. But I like T Swift. Don't get me wrong, guys. Okay, I love Taylor Swift. I think that she's an amazing human being. But I'm sick and tired of seeing Jackson Mahomes and her up there. Like, why are you showing Jackson Mahomes after all of his allegations? Like, why are we giving this man the opportunity to be on with Taylor Swift?
What now?
Jackson Mahomes had allegations against him in the beginning of the year. Now, all of a sudden, we have Jackson Mahomes and T Swift hanging out.
Well, now that's one guy I don't like very much.
No!
Patrick should, disown his brother, basically. But,
dude, his mom and dad need to do that.
Yeah, it's just he's clearly riding on some coattails.
Oh, for sure, just for his own fame.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, it's no good.
Yeah.
Dougie Fresh.
D Fresh, what up? All right, so, oh man, I'm going to hate this. Dude, I was a Lions fan before the Lions were cool, guys. Just so everybody knows, okay? San Francisco 49ers.
I can confirm he's
versus the Lions. So, look, I'm not mad. I'm really not. I'm just disappointed and upset at two things. I was watching Ninja's live stream this morning, and he's right, 100% correct. Ninja is right. It wasn't so much the coaching fault. Reynolds dropped 2 big passes on 4th down. Okay? Then all of a sudden, Jahmyr Gibbs fumbles. That's what brings them back. Did you cry when they lost, David? Actually, no, I didn't cry. I was more... I was just super upset at the fact that when you have the perfect opportunity to kick a field goal, okay? Look, dude, I'm all for being aggressive, dude. Like, if any of you guys know me, you know that I play aggressive in every sport. Doesn't matter what sport it is. Doesn't matter if we're friends or not, dude. I play aggressive. I really do. I play aggressive. And I'm all for it. Like, if I was a coach, I'd do the same exact thing. But I also have to think in my mind, too, cool, if I take these 3 points, we tie the game. If they go and score this touchdown, we have X amount of time left. Perfect. This is what I'm doing. This is my game plan. So now that I'm kicking this field goal, I make this field goal. Then they come down and they score. We come down, and then guess who scored right afterwards? Williams scores. Jamison Williams scores. That would have been a tie game. It would have been 34-34, possibly going into OT. Who knows what could have happened in OT? But unfortunately, we can't talk about that because we can only stay here. But I will say this, though. On SportsCenter, they were showing how the offensive line held Adrian Hutchinson down the whole time.
Yeah.
They were grabbing his shirt. His jersey was ripped right here. If you guys looked, it was ripped. There was hardly any penalties against the San Francisco 49ers, all against the Lions. But I'm not going to take that away from this.
Well,
we had a super good season.
It's kind of hard when you give up 27 straight.
Yep.
You know, like, man, I agree, Doug. Like, that running game was so effective to start the game. I didn't think the Niners could even be in the game if they just kept running the ball down the throat. Which just goes to show, we always talk about this being a passing league, and I really think running in the playoffs is really the way to go.
Yeah.
Like, ball control, no turnovers.
Yep.
Because you don't have that many possessions to begin with, so you need to make those as points as much as possible. I don't think it was a good... that's what I love about Pete. He would have gotten the 3 points there all day.
Yes.
So what you need to do is slow that momentum down.
Anybody would have gotten the 3 points to shut him up.
Just slow the momentum down. Now, I think the real backbreaker to me was after the Niners tied it, the Lions' first possession, they're down on the 10 or something, a 3-and-out with a drop pass by Reynolds. And I knew as soon as he dropped that, the Lions are in deep, deep, deep trouble at that point. I mean, it was tied, but this is your time to respond. This is your time to get down the field. Even a field goal right there after they tied the game changed the whole trajectory of this game, I promise you. And to come up 3-and-out immediately after being scored for 27 points in a row. Man, it's just that one. I just could feel it's like, oh, this is not going good.
So the only problem that I have is that we did a trickery play on 1st and 10. Why are you doing a flea flicker? Why are we doing all of these crazy trickery plays? I understand that we want to be aggressive, but being aggressive and being up by 20 plus points makes no sense to me on why you as a coach, you as a professional player as well, you should know better that clock management is what gets you the win. 100% of the time. When I play Madden and I'm up 24-7, I chew clock.
Yeah, that's a great call.
No matter what. Sure. And I punt the ball. And then I field goal kick. I do, you know what I mean? Just put me in, coach.
It's kind of like, remember Atlanta losing to New England?
Oh,
in the second half, Atlanta just stopped running the ball and just didn't take any of that clock up. And
two of the best running back duos in that time.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yep. Devontae Freeman and Coleman. You guys, that blew my mind.
Anyone who knows me, I'm sorry, I'm a Seattle fan through and through. I hate the Niners, but I'm going to give a little prop to Christian McCaffrey, man. To see a running back as good as he is these days is truly impressive. He can catch out of the backfield, of course. Yeah. He just can't be denied. Like Greg Olsen was saying on the broadcast, they'll run him 30 times because one of them's going to pop out for a 50-yard gain at some point.
Right, and the same thing goes for Montgomery and Gibbs. I mean, if you watch it all year long, David Montgomery had some big 75-yard bursts. Jahmyr Gibbs had big 50, 60-yard, and this was every game. And if you watch most of our games, it was mostly rushing touchdowns. So when you look at this right now, you have Montgomery with a rushing touchdown, Jahmyr Gibbs with a rushing touchdown, Jamison Williams came out in the first half with a rushing touchdown. We only threw one passing touchdown.
I think that was like the 6th or 7th play of the first quarter.
Yeah.
When he threw that reverse to Williamson.
Yeah.
That was awesome, man.
It's a beautiful play.
Got his back jersey grabbed, broke off that, and ran right in.
Still took it.
I was like, oh, man, Detroit's on fire here. And it just goes to show you, when it hits halftime, the better coaches are always going to make the better adjustments.
100%.
And bam. Niners come out screaming on fire, score 17 in the third quarter.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the game's completely different in one quarter. Now you're that huge lead you have, now you're playing tied into the fourth quarter with all the momentum on the Niners side, the crowd's into it. Just, I think as a Lions fan, if you were going to lose, it was going to be an excruciating way. And that's just how football is.
Oh, yeah. But that's always how the Lions have always been, though, man. Like, if you guys... We were the laughing stock of the league. Now we're no longer the laughing stock of the league, but you guys can say and do whatever you want to. But to be honest with you...
They had a great year.
When we have been the worst team in NFL forever, and we have a season such as this now in today's day and age with... Deebo Samuels, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, and Jennings, like an ultimate team along with an ultimate defense, like Nick Bosa, Chase Young.
If we're projecting forward, and you got some huge news for the Lions fan today. Ben Johnson is going to stay on as OC. He definitely wasn't the problem in this game. I think you shore up the draft, get some more defensive players, because I think that's where you need it right now. The offense is...
Our offense is
awesome to watch.
It is, but how are we going to re-sign some of these offensive players?
But some of your best players are on rookie deals right now, which is...
Yeah, that's true.
You got Gibbs and Laporta. Man, Laporta, I am so jealous that the Seahawks didn't manage to pick up Laporta because he has been phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. But we like to use our tight ends. That's always been our thing. And then, like, once we develop them, like TJ Hawkinson... We send Hawkinson.
Well, look at the common link between New England and Kansas City. So New England had Gronk just winning Super Bowl. And he going right into this another dynasty that we're going to have to live through. And he got Kelsey. And, man, they're the knight on the chessboard, man. Yep. They're just, they can do everything if you have the right guys. So,
oh, yeah. I love it.
The Lions have Laporta. That's huge going forward. Now, I would say for the Lions, unfortunately, that division is about to get way tougher. Green Bay look awesome.
Oh, yeah.
They look awesome.
We get the Vikings get Cousins and a healthy Jefferson.
I think Green Bay played San Francisco just as well as Detroit did.
Minnesota's going to go and pick up a running back.
I saw them in a mock draft today, trading up to get Jalen McDaniels. So
did I.
We'll see. But yeah, buddy, I'm sorry.
No, man, it's all good.
I know. You're holding up well.
It's all good.
Still sucks.
I mean, like, to be honest with you, man, this is the best season that I've ever seen out of the Lions since Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson, Golden Tate, Reggie Bush, Ndamukong Suh, Kirby Joseph. You know what I mean, man? Since we've had, I mean, this has been it. This is
Hunter.
The best one. He said,
Go Cowboys. How dare you? Don't get me started on your team. No offense. But
yeah, Hunter. Well, guys, there are some big free agents out there in today's world in the NFL. Now, what the crazy thing is we're gonna name them and see where they're gonna go. So, number one, we're looking at Chris Jones. Chris Jones over there at Kansas City, man, number 95, big boy. One of the best defensive linemen that this NFL has probably seen in a very long time. Along with, Aaron Donald and, Myles Garrett.
He's an okay run defender, but he's an incredible pass rusher.
Oh, yeah.
Their comp on this thing here is Ndamukong Suh from 2015. Was that a Lions season?
Yes.
2015? I wasn't 100% sure.
Here, let me go to it so everyone can see.
Yeah. I don't know, is he an unrestricted free agent or is he? Yeah, he's an unrestricted.
Yeah, he's an unrestricted.
So Kansas City is going to have to shell out big time.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they have the money to keep him if they want to go that route. I would be, if you had to ask me, I think he'll probably stay as a Chief. However, I don't need to list all the team names that someone could pick up. Like everyone could use a Chris Jones on their team. So you imagine that he's going to get some kind of crazy money coming forward.
Oh yeah, dude, Zeke, I'm not even mad at it, bro. To be strictly honest, I'm really not mad. I'm actually super excited for this up and coming season for the Lions, for sure.
I really like Dan Campbell.
Dude,
Say what you will about him. He got that team. To watch him, thank you, by the way, the Lions last year for beating Green Bay in Green Bay. So Seattle got in the playoffs just to lose to the Niners anyways. However,
and then what happened? The Niners went down and lost anyways.
So yeah, but you know what? That guy is always going to have his team in the game. Like, he's just his personality. I really like it. He's a real leader, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%. So, Kirk Cousins at number 2. I think Kirk Cousins signs back with the Vikings. There's nowhere else that he's going to be able to go unless he goes
no. Hang on. I disagree.
The Patriots?
There's a lot of teams that would like to have him.
But would he be a starter there, though, is the question.
Oh, yeah.
So where do you? So give
Depends
me
if you want to go.
teams. Give me 5.
All right. So if you're the Patriots, you have like a top 3 or 4 pick.
Right.
If you could sign Cousins and then go draft Marvin Harrison Jr., that's a gigantic upgrade to your team right there. I think Kurt's. But then Kurt's gonna get you to the playoffs.
Yep.
You know that you're gonna have a really good offense with him. Is he gonna make the Super Bowl? Yeah, I think so. If you have the right team around him, he's not like a Mahomes where he could carry you to a Super Bowl. But Cousins, I think he'll have a lot of looks. I think someone like Atlanta, where you got to get off Ritter. You just do. Cousins would be a great fit there.
I have to disagree with the Ritter thing because here's the problem: you don't have an offensive line to help you. You have Drake London as your only receiver. Kyle Pitts isn't really doing much. They're double teaming him every single time that they get the opportunity to. So the offensive line for the Atlanta Falcons, I feel like they need to go and get a better offensive line so that Tyler Algier and Robinson can run behind him.
But if you're signing Cousins on a free agent deal, you could draft the dude because they got a pretty high pick as well.
True.
They helped that line out. But you got Bijan. Man, that's an awesome start right there.
But you also need an offensive line.
Yeah. I don't think it's horrible. They've been pretty good at running the ball. I think, Cousins, I just think that's a gigantic upgrade.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
especially being in that division. Where you're staring down Derek Carr.
Yep.
No, I don't want to throw Baker like an understatement. I think Baker's actually pretty damn good.
I think Baker should have been comeback player of the year, but we already know who that's going to.
Which desperately needs a... He seems like a guy that needs an incredible offensive line. He needs a lot around him to be good.
Oh, yeah.
And Panthers just don't have that kind of talent on the team.
I think that the Panthers need to go out and I think what the Panthers need to do right now is not re-sign Brian Barnes, but they needed to trade him so that they could have got better players.
I would like to see Cousins go somewhere like Tennessee.
Oh no, Will Levis is there. I want to see Will be.
I don't know if you can see it. Who cares? Who cares?
Well, but then again,
sometimes you can eat a draft pick on a QB, or at least let Levis sit on the bench a little more. I don't know.
We're behind a real quarterback.
I think if anything, this year has shown us that you need a backup that's pretty good. How many QBs went down this year? Lots.
All of them. A lot of them.
Look at Minshew, man. If I'm the Seahawks, I want Minshew as my backup. No offense to Drew Lock, which is actually getting a lot of buzz because he actually went out there and won a game this year against Philly. I think these backup roles are starting to become very important.
Yep.
So I'm old school, man. I liked back in the day where you draft Aaron Rodgers and let him sit behind Brett Favre for a little bit. That amount of being around someone that good.
I mean, like, look at what Green Bay did with
Once
Jordan Love.
he hit the field after about 3 or 4 years, he was already to go.
Right, but Jordan Love was the same way.
Well,
Jordan Love sat
Love's
behind.
incredible.
Yeah, dude, he looked beautiful. I mean, like, don't get me wrong though. In the beginning of the year, he looked terrible. He looked like crap.
But
then,
figured
like,
it out.
he figured it. Yes, exactly. He came out. He said, "All right, cool. I'm the guy that's gonna run this squad. So let me go ahead and run this
He
squad."
throws
And that's
an
what he
awesome
did.
football.
Yeah, dude, he has a beautiful arm. But
You're Green Bay. You went from Brett Favre into Aaron Rodgers and now into Jordan Love, which I've done a total 180 on. I really think that kid's going to be special.
oh,
Yeah, he made a bad throw at the end of that San Francisco game a couple weeks ago, but you know what? That's just being like a QB doesn't have a lot of experience still. You can't throw it across your body to the middle of the field and
100%.
expect anything good to ever happen.
Oh yeah, dude, you're not Patrick Mahomes. You're not.
But that's something he's definitely probably going to learn from. He's got the arm talent. They got a very young, awesome receiving core there. I'm not a gigantic Green Bay fan by any stretch, but if I was a fan of any one particular team that's been trying to get back to where they were, Green Bay is looking really good.
It'd be Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the team that I like right now is the Houston Texans.
Oh, 100%.
Dude, I'm loving the Houston Texans. I love the Tank Dell, the Nico Collins. I love the CJ Stroud. I want them to re-sign Dalton Schultz so bad so that they can go and do it with those three and then go and get a receiver in the draft and do it.
Well, you
Run
got Brock Bowers out there from Georgia.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be like kind of a game-changing tight end. Maybe add that with Stroud.
Yeah.
And Tank's going to be awesome.
Dude, I'm
Collins,
excited.
that team's... Texans, can you do me one thing? You'll never watch this, but if you ever did, one of your media guys did click on here or something and made it, and 40 minutes into this podcast, listen.
40 minutes into the podcast. Hold on.
Hold on. Can you just change back to the Oilers? What can we do?
To get that back?
The Texans uniform scheme. I'm one of those guys. Like I like the visual part of football. Can we bring back the Oilers in Houston? Tennessee looks like crap, anyways. Can we just let them do their own thing with the stupid sword on their helmet, and just be back to the Oilers? Reminiscences of the Warren Moon days, of the Powder Blues. Anyways, just a side tangent.
Yeah, no, dude, I agree with you 100%. I feel like that's what they should do.
The only thing I just don't like is that, yeah, I know you're from Texas. You're the stupid bull. Yeah, like, let's look cooler.
Well, in other news, Josh Allen. Yep, you heard it here first, guys. Josh Allen's a free agent from Jacksonville Jaguars. That is not from the Buffalo Bills. I wish, because that would be very, very interesting to see if he would stay with Buffalo or if he would go somewhere else.
So his comp apparently is Melvin Ingram, which is always really nice.
Yep.
That's the kind of guy you probably really need to go for, seeing how that if you want to not completely put all your money into someone like Chris Jones, but want a really effective pass rusher.
Josh Allen's a very good pickup for sure.
Now, he doesn't. His pass rush win rate's not quite as good as Chris Jones, but you're probably not going to pay as much money for this guy as well.
Right, 100%.
A lot of these guys, when I'm looking at, I think they'll probably end up re-signing. But if you throw enough money at them, you're definitely probably upgrading your defensive line.
Yeah, dude. For
everyone
sure.
can use a good edge rusher.
Oh yeah, 100%. Everyone can. T. Higgins. Over there in Cincinnati Bengals, they're saying that the top free agent comparison is Mike Williams. If Mike Williams wasn't hurt all the time, I can agree. I would disagree with this, but since he is hurt all the time, I do agree with it. I mean, I think that T. Higgins is a fantastic wide receiver too, but where
I was just gonna say that.
Where would he fit?
I want him as my second guy.
You wouldn't want him at the first.
He's your B plus tie-in second dude. Like, you probably can't do much better, like he's shown in Cincinnati.
Right.
But a lot of pressure gets taken off him because he's lined up with Jamar Chase. I'm like, I don't know if he's going to be... I wouldn't want to pay him as being my one, but if he's your two on your team, watch out. Now, it'd be like if he went to Minnesota and he lined up next to Justin Jefferson. Holy crap.
And Jordan Addison too? Ugh.
To me, that's super scary.
Well, KJ Osborne is also up as well.
Sure, but he's not T. Higgins.
No, I do agree with you on that, but I feel like that if T. Higgins and KJ Osborne could go to the same squad, hint, hint, Panthers, that would be a super dynamic team because then you would have your T. Higgins as your number 1, your Adam Thielen as your 3, and then KJ Osborne as your 2.
So I hate this idea that just came in my head.
Let me hear the idea.
Let's not put this in the world, but let's see. Arizona. You go and draft Marvin Harrison Jr., and then you put T. Higgins along with him.
That would...
With Kyler, that's super scary.
That is scary.
That is...
Then you have McBride, and then you have James Conner as a running
awesome.
back. So this would be my concern, though. So all of a sudden you have T. Higgins that comes over, okay? Are you re-signing Marquise Hollywood Brown because his contract is up too? Are you re-signing him?
No.
So you're going to let him walk, okay?
Well, I don't want 2 guys that have injury problems on the same team. And that's really... Hollywood's been off and on the field. Higgins has had a lot of injury. But I definitely like Higgins upside way more.
But I feel like that it would give more of an opening for Marquise Hollywood Brown to have less of those injuries because you would have somebody like Higgins out there as your number 1, your number 2.
You put Marvin, T, 1, 2. You can find a good slot guy. Just a dude with good hands.
KJ Osborne is out there. DJ Chark is out there.
Well, that's not how this generally works. You
I
would
know,
probably get your 3rd guy maybe in the 5th, 4th round of the draft, maybe. I just don't want to see that. But it'd be a great call. Higgins, if he's going to be a 1, he might land over somewhere like New York, the Giants. They need a lot of help at receiver. I could see maybe them picking him up.
Oh, yeah,
but
for sure.
Obviously, you'd rather pair him with a stellar receiver.
Yeah.
Someone like an A.J. Brown or something.
100%. I mean, I think that if you look at I really don't want to give it away, though, but there's a bunch of receivers who we have been naming so far. So keep in mind, guys, DJ Chark, KJ Osborne. We did say T. Higgins. There's going to be 2 more on this list that are going to be super big as well for any type of team to have.
That schedule looks like death, Zeke. That is not a good schedule for the Niners. And good for them. I don't have anything good to say about the Niners. I hope they run through that gamut.
Brian Burns, Carolina, man. I'm telling you, they should have traded him in the middle of the season to get a couple of people. But Brian Barnes is like Frank Clark. That's who they're comparing him to. I think that it is a very, very, very good comparison. Brian Burns, man, he's just a monster. He's just a really good all-around player. I feel like that what he needs to do is find a team that is suitable for him. I'm looking at the Ravens possibility. New York Giants would be a great, great fit for him. You have Tavon Thibodeau over there. I mean, even if he goes and signs with Kansas City, I mean, he would still be the number 1 dude over there as well. There's just a lot of opportunity for Burns to go to.
Oh, every team could, even the teams that are stacked on edge can use another edge guy.
Oh, yeah.
Look at San Francisco. They go out and get Jamar Chase, or not Jamar Chase, but Chase Young.
Chase Young.
At the trading deadline, which I don't think he's been playing great, but that's still a name that you're putting on the line there. Brian Barnes, he's gonna have a market for sure. Seattle needs edge.
Yep.
I mean,
Texans
we
need
could
an
go
edge
through
rusher.
this forever.
Chargers.
Just about any team you can think could use a guy like him.
Yep. Let's get down to.
Up.
Oh, sorry, where'd I go?
Antonio, he's awesome.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Antonio Winfield Jr., Tampa Bay, saying that he's like Jesse Bates in 2023. This could be a big signing.
This kid's young. He's awesome. His dad was great. This is a guy that you want to go out if you're going to spend money.
Yep.
Now, you got to be careful with safeties and free safeties.
Doug,
you don't want to allow your money tied up with these guys just because look at Seattle trading 2 first-rounders for Jamal Adams.
Yep.
That one hurts.
He's injury prone, hands down.
So you don't want to get the majority of your money, but this guy will help you win games for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Saquon Barkley does want to leave. He's on this list as well.
Oh, Saquon's a free agent?
Yes, sir. Ladarius Sneed.
Wow, he is.
From Kansas City.
This guy has earned himself so much money in the playoffs.
Man.
Everyone's going to be looking to throw money at this guy.
There's only
there
a
is
few
a very.
teams.
I think the corner position is so thin right now.
Yes, 100%.
Look at Devin Weatherspoon from Seattle this year.
Yeah.
He's probably a top 10 guy. He's been in the league 1 year.
Woolen as well.
Woolen.
And then
Woolen didn't have such a great. I hope he comes back, but his first year was incredible.
Oh yeah.
And you're like a Sauce, but these are all young kids. There's no. Snead's gonna get a lot of money from someone.
Oh yeah, he's literally gonna get a lot of play.
So the Chiefs are looking at: do we keep Chris Jones or do we keep Snead?
You keep
They're
Snead.
gonna have to. They're one of them. This is someone's leaving.
Yep.
They can't pay them both. I don't think. So.
Snead, let's get rid of him, or keep Snead, get rid of Jones.
Really? I don't know about that.
No.
Chris Jones is awesome.
But Chris Jones is getting old though, so you're gonna want to sit here and pay him two years max
as long as
contract.
you're winning Super Bowls, buddy.
Well, I think that L'Jarius Snead is going to get you there. I think that Snead is going to be your long-term guy. So why don't you just throw 3-year, $55 million at him and let him?
He's going to go to a team like the Raiders. Always throwing money out. Well, they did get Christian Gonzalez from the draft, who looked good before he got hurt.
Yeah.
But I think cornerback is so thin right now that this guy's going to demand a lot of money and end up somewhere. I bet he lands on a team that's not so good but gets paid.
Oh, yeah. Number 11 on this list, we're going to name the last 2 receivers here. They're pretty big name receivers. Michael Pittman Jr. for the Indianapolis Colts. They're saying that they're comparing him to Allen Robinson. Where do you think he goes?
Pittman, he's kind of like how I thought about T. Higgins. Probably a very capable 2. Can be a 1. But probably better off having someone else take a little attention off him. Pittman's pretty reliable. I think he got hurt a little bit the year before. But, I mean, look, who were we just talking about? The backup.
Downs?
No, for Colts. That started after Richardson went down.
Oh, you're talking about Gunnar Minshew?
Yeah. Minshew,
Loved him.
Pittman dragged. Now, Minshew's pretty good, but having Pittman on that field definitely they almost made the playoffs when I thought like that was no chance in hell happening.
Oh yeah, dude, no, 100%. I think that Michael Pittman signs again with the Colts. I think he stays. I think they're going to give him a max contract, and he's not going to go
That's
anywhere.
how I kind of feel about most of these free agents. That most likely a lot of them are going to stay. A couple of them are going to be popped out, but
oh yeah,
Pittman's awesome.
Yeah, dude,
he had a great year. The problem with receiver these days is that there's so many coming out of the draft that
a lot of big injuries too to a lot of receivers this year as well.
He's definitely gonna get paid, but I agree he was probably gonna stay as a Colt.
Dude, Mr. Consistent right here, Mr. Consistent. We're talking about Mike Evans. He's the most consistent wide receiver out there. He's been the most consistent wide receiver for 10 plus years, right? Las Vegas Raiders are thinking about throwing $67.7 million for 3 years to him. Do you think that he re-signs and stays with Baker, or do you think he goes over to Vegas and hangs out?
Ooh, that would be interesting. You got Adams and Evans.
I mean, they're comparing him to Kenny Galladay. Signing-wise, Kenny Galladay. That's who they're comparing.
Well, let's hope that you're not getting busted goods.
Yeah.
Galladay was horrible once he got to the Giants.
And you're welcome.
Evans I mean, like, if you really want... Evans still can be a 1. That's the crazy part. Yep. So you already got Devontae. I would be shocked if you went to the Raiders, to be honest with you. I see why you'd want to do it. You always want a bunch of great receivers on your team. But I feel like the Raiders have a lot more pressing issues with their probably offensive line, somewhere on the defense, anything along those lines. You already had Devontae. I just saw that
Kobe Myers.
If they let go of Hunter Renfrow and Jimmy G, they save $45 million.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye.
I mean, to be honest with you, you really don't need Jimmy G anymore.
No. Adrian Connor, he was pretty good.
Dude, Connor can come in and do it. Just give him another receiver.
Pretty good guy, man.
That can play. There's a bunch of them in the draft. You are in the free agency. Just go and pick up another receiver that's going to help out. And and this is just my thinking, and I know that I keep saying his name, but KJ Osborne, I feel like would be a really good fit over there in Las Vegas and have that opportunity with Devontae Adams.
So do you think Russell's going to go there?
If Russell goes there, Russell's going to want the starting job. And I do not think that the head coach is going to love having someone who was a distraction, because he was a distraction in Seattle. He was a distraction in the Broncos. He's going to be a distraction at any other team that he goes to. I just don't think that the head coach really wants to deal with that type of stress. So he wants to go with Connor. I think that Russell will go to another team that is in dire need of a quarterback. Now, once again, Kirk Cousins is up. Who knows? Maybe Russell might go over there.
Someone's gonna start Russell. I
promise
you.
Hands down, anyone's gonna start Russell.
He actually, very quietly, other than being berated by Sean Payton, which I really don't like Sean Payton. If you're gonna ask me,
I'm not a big fan.
What a dick. It's just like, I know that I was personally kind of rooting against Russell the first year he was in Denver. I mean, it hurts that he took off, and then hearing all what happened, I didn't want him to be great. Then this year came, I was okay with him. And he actually put up some really good numbers. His team was competitive for a good part of that season. I think it's a mistake. I think Denver should probably hang on to him for one more year at least. Because that contract's, the further you go into it, the less it's going to hurt if he's good.
Yeah. And last but not least, Calvin Ridley is up too. Okay. Remember, Ridley's contract is up now with Jacksonville. I mean... Could he possibly stay in the same division and go to Tennessee? Could he go to the Panthers? Wow, dude, guys, this is going to be a huge free agency right here. And I think that this is the make or break it.
Ridley, I don't know. He probably ends up being a Jag still. But
you think?
Yeah. I mean, they don't have a lot else after him. So it's hard to see him moving.
Agreed.
However, I wouldn't give him the bag.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't give him the bag either. All right, guys, we're going to talk about... You all right?
Yeah, it's just mouse is freezing. It's okay.
So we're going to talk about coaches here. Let's talk about Seattle. What happened over there in Seattle? Pete Carroll is no longer there as of January 10th.
14 years.
Yep. Wow. That was, 137, 89. He only had one tie over 14 years. That's insane. That is great stats for... Pete, I love those stats.
It's the problem with the Seahawk job right now is you're walking into who I believe should be a Hall of Famer, and Pete Carroll, to pick up where he left off, the environment that he created in Seattle. Seattle's, if you don't even know, they have a very, very special environment. He's very uplifting. They play music during their practices. People love each other in there. I mean, it sounds really wonky, but it's just how Seattle operates. Oh, yeah. And they just let people be who they are. So they're looking for a coach to bring in that's going to keep the culture alive. Although that they need to move off Pete. Unfortunately, Pete's getting up to, I think he's 72 years old. A little hard.
He's still throwing dots, though, man.
He's got a cannon on him still.
Right there. And...
looks. Pete's the greatest coach of all time for the Seahawks. So I'm just saying it's going to be a little hard to replace him. I'm hoping for Mike McDaniels from the Ravens, DC, to take over. Now, I thought Ben Johnson might have a shot, but he stayed with the Lions, so good for you guys.
Do you think that Dan Quinn has an opportunity?
100%.
Do you think that Dan has an opportunity with this next team that we're about to talk about? Washington Commanders, Ron Rivera, 26-40.
So I don't...
Over 4 seasons.
The thing with Dan Quinn is that he was our DC when we won the Super Bowl in 2013. He knows the system. He knows the people around the building. So that's why everyone put Dan Quinn immediately to our team. However, John Snyder hasn't had a chance to look at coaches, interview coaches in 14 years. So he's just grabbing a lot of intel right now. If they want to try to keep in the past and keep things exactly how they kind of were, you go Dan Quinn. I think most Seattle fans kind of want a little bit of a change, though, and that's why everyone's pushing for, we're pushing for Ben Johnson. But now Mike McDaniels, who they're interviewing, I think they interviewed him today. They're hoping that most Seattle fans want the change. So, hard to say. Washington's also in the running for McDaniels. So if McDaniels goes to Washington, I think Dan Quinn's probably the natural fit to go right in afterwards. But Washington, I don't know. They might grab Quinn afterwards.
So this is why I don't want Atlanta to veer away from Desmond Ridder. Raheem Morris is now their head coach. As of January 25th, they fired Arthur Smith. As of January 7th, Arthur Smith has now been fired. They bring this gentleman in. Now he's their Atlanta's head coach. He's a very, very, very pass-heavy type of coach. He's a very, very great offensive coordinator as well. Do you think that this changes the dynamic over there in the Falcons for Atlanta?
Well, I mean, they have familiarity with him. He lost a job to Arthur Smith.
Yep.
Took off to the Rams, and then they bring him back. Heard there was a little bit of a power struggle.
Yep.
Because the thing is that if Belichick just wanted to coach and not have anything to do with roster moves, he would have been hired.
Oh, yeah.
100%. I would even... Well, I think Seattle's so different than most teams that he wouldn't be in Seattle regardless. But someone like Atlanta, that would have been a great hire for him. But I get it. I don't want him running the draft anymore because he has done such a poor job in New England. But if I just got him as just a coach, oh man, sky's the limit of him. I really think that Atlanta instantly becomes a playoff team with Belichick.
For sure.
But I can see why there was hesitancy. The Arthur Smith wanted him, but the rest of the people in that building did not want him because they didn't want to lose their jobs and stuff like that. So Morris, I don't really know what he brings to the team necessarily, I'm going to be honest, but he's been in the building before, so that should help out. I think they need to make a move at QB. I just don't think Ridder's going to be the guy, man. Now he's really young.
Taylor Heineke looked a little bit better.
Sure. So, like,
just a little bit.
I think they probably go for a high-end QB in the draft here coming up.
I got you.
I've seen Penix put to his.
I mean, I would like them to sign Penix as well. I think that after watching Michigan win the BCS championship, let's go.
I'm glad we weren't doing the podcast that week.
I know. But I would be super happy to watch Penix go and actually be a part, because I think that he is a very good, talented quarterback. I mean, watching the highlights leading up to this he's actually a really good, patient type of quarterback. And I think that's what Atlanta needs, is somebody who is patient and ready to go.
Oh, I think Penix has the best arm out of the entire draft.
Oh, for sure.
The concerns with him is his injury history. He did not look too good during the championship game, which was a super bummer. Because I really wanted him to show the rest of this country what he'd been doing all year, and he is awesome. I don't think there's anyone... He could be just as accurate as the top-tier QBs in the entire league. He has that good of a spiral. His accuracy is phenomenal.
Uncontrolled.
You just really scared that he's going to get hurt. Because thinking about Washington, they had such a great offensive line that I think he was only sacked maybe 10 times all season. Oh, yeah. So he didn't have to deal with the pressure. And once Michigan put it on him, he'd look jumpy. So that's what kind of knocked him down. I would say Atlanta is a great fit. The thing with Penix is wherever he goes, I'm going to be kind of a fan of that team.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that's one of those things. I kind of wish if he doesn't land on the Seahawks, he doesn't land in Atlanta, so I have a reason to. I live in Georgia. I don't like Atlanta Falcons. No. But if Penix is there, hey, I could see myself sort of
going down and watch it. Now, here's the thing, though. If Bill Belichick would have signed, I would have been going to at least 2 or 3 games just to watch, because he is one of the greatest coaches of all time. But I will say this, though. That'd be super funny if Penix decided to go to the 49ers and get drafted. Then you'd be a fan of the 49ers because you said you'd be a fan of wherever he goes. So, anyways, as we're moving on.
Nope. I love you, Penix. That's the one place you can't go.
Well, speaking of the BCS championship, a college coach.
No, he was a pro coach before.
Yeah, I know. But Jim Harbaugh just signed with the Chargers.
Huge.
They got rid of Brandon Staley. What fired December 15th? This is the earliest fire.
Yeah, they should have.
This is early. I feel like it was way too early to fire him.
I was following that game while I was at work, just looking at my phone, and it was that game that the Raiders piled up like 60 points on him. They should have fired him on the field right after halftime and told him to go catch a bus.
Yeah.
Like, literally, don't go back to the locker room. It's been not fun. You can go on.
Yeah, goodbye. Have a good day.
Good day. And then you replace him with Jim
Harbaugh.
Wow.
I loves Justin.
Who
Justin
was
Herbert.
awesome as a 49ers coach. I couldn't believe they got rid of him in the first place.
Yep.
I was praying he wasn't going to land back in our division unless he was with the Seahawks.
Yep.
But he's a great coach. He's going to set that culture. They're not going to play. They're going to be a lot better, I think.
Oh, yeah.
You got Herbert there. You got a lot of talent. That was I think, the best hire in the entire coaching carousel. Even whatever Seattle does or Washington does, that's the A+ move right there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Mike Vrabel fired January 9th.
Vrabel. Now, this is a guy I would like to see in Seattle as well. I need to stop bringing him up because it's just because we don't have a coach.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
I'm really shocked that Tennessee moved off him.
And put in Brian Callahan. That was weird.
He's been making close to the playoffs or making the playoffs every year. His team fights for him. He's just a hard-nosed, like, run the ball kind of guy, which, we're talking about passing league. Everyone wants the big highlights, but as you can see in the playoffs just recently, running the ball is really what gets you further in this thing. I'm shocked that he's probably not going to have a coaching job here.
I think that it's...
I just think it's bad
for
Tennessee.
But when you have somebody such as Derrick Henry, yes, you want to run the ball as many times as you possibly can because he is King Henry. That is the well-known fact. They haven't had a good wide receiver. A.J. Brown wasn't that breakout receiver that everybody thought he was until he got to Philadelphia, okay? So let's not get that twisted just yet. Then they go and they get DeAndre Hopkins, which was super weird on why Hopkins signed with the Tennessee Titans and why he was there. I think that he was just there because they had the highest pay there. But here's also the thing. You have Will Levis now, who's got a cannon for an arm, a beautiful arm, that's for sure, that's no doubt, right? Tennessee now needs to move away from the run game, put in Spears, let Henry go off and do his own thing, let him get a bag, let him retire, let him do his thing. Go out there, get some big-name receivers, and let's start playing the game. Let's go out and get Michael Pittman. Let's go out and get T. Higgins. Let's go out and get KJ Osborne. Let's go out and get Calvin Ridley. Let's go get receivers, and let's start getting our passing offense.
I get what you're saying. We could cut Vrabel.
I mean, I feel like that it was a good move to cut him.
I disagree. That team was doing nothing before he showed up.
He wasn't doing anything with him there either because Tannehill can't throw the damn ball. Tannehill's a backup quarterback. Just like Marcus Mariota, backup quarterback. 3,000 yards
really
a season.
Good teams just a couple of years ago.
But why did they have a good team? Because Derrick Henry's at his finest. After his 2 injuries, Henry went down. They haven't done much since then.
Because his teams always have a really good defense, man.
Right, but now you're in a division that is super competitive. Who do you have in there that is super competitive now? You have Jacksonville. You have the Colts, and you have Houston, who is now starting to blow up in this wide receiver depth that they have. It's no more a running league in that division. It's now turned to a passing league. Before it was a running league when they had Maurice Jones-Drew, they had Taylor, Fred Taylors, all of that stuff. Now it's a passing division there. They have to go out and make big moves in order for Tennessee to gradually grow.
I mean, I don't know what's going on in that building.
I
would have kept Vrabel. I heard that he didn't get along very well with the owner, which is always going to be a quick way out of the building. I'm kind of shocked that he's not picked up yet, to be honest with you. He's a proven winner.
Oh, yeah.
For what it is. Not everyone gets to win the Super Bowl. We've already seen that Kansas City is just going to hog them all here.
Hands down.
All right, hang on. The seal.
The seal.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Yo, what's up, guys? We're back. Sorry about that. Quick little 5-minute break.
That's my fault.
No, that's good. He's got to break the seal. He broke it.
I broke it earlier. I actually hung in there for an hour, I think.
Yeah, dude, you did well. I'm not going to lie. You did well. So let's talk about the 70-point games that these NBA players have. And there's not a lot of them on the list, but it's still very, very, very...
It's a small list.
It is.
Dominated by one guy.
Oh, yeah. But this was back like in the 60s. But still, though, it's still very impressive. Doesn't matter whether it's in the 60s, the 50s, the 40s. It does not matter. But let's look at this. Elgin Baylor had 71. He was the first one to ever do it, right? Wilt Chamberlain is on here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times. And he also had the most at 100 points.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go and we'll look at Kobe. 81 is next.
So that's the second highest most of all time.
And then I believe there's been 2 players to do... No, I'm sorry. There's 3 players to do 73. Which is Chamberlain, David Thompson, and Luka Doncic. Luka is now on this list. Joel Embiid did it the same week, and then Luka comes and destroys it a few games later.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's beautiful. Devin Booker's on here at 70. Devin Mitchell.
Well, looking at the dates,
Damian Lillard.
I'm shocked there wasn't one in the 80s. So there was a big gap from like 78 to 94 here.
Oh, yeah.
Between David Thompson and David Robinson. And 80s were known for like no defense, high scoring. That's when you had like the Lakers Showtime and stuff like that. So it was very, like, it just went away for a good while.
Oh, yeah.
And then Kobe's just kind of an outlier, just middle of 2006, hitting 81.
10 years later.
And never got 70 again, which is wild to me. So he just went one day, he was just like, I'm going to shoot. He shot 46 times.
Oh, yeah.
And then since 2017, and just the last 2 years, which is really wild, the last 2 years, we've had 4. We had Donovan Mitchell, Lillard, Embiid, and Doncic just recently.
Yep.
So I think how the basketball has been played lately with the threes.
I'm surprised that Curry isn't on this list, or Klay Thompson.
Curry,
Also surprised to not see...
I mean, I think Curry could do it if he wanted to, but he's also not that type of player to just...
He's a facilitator, bro. He's a general.
He's not sitting there... He's trying to win games.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, like, just because he scores 70 doesn't mean you're going to win a game either. And, you know, it's still really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder it's going to be kind of more as, like, as we go and how basketball is playing, this might be a little more diluted, where you might start seeing this popping up occasionally here and there.
Yep.
Kind of like how no-hitters really weren't a thing.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're going to get a
couple of them here and there.
Yeah. Like, I think a couple of years ago, there was like 6 of them in one season.
Oh, yeah.
It was just wild.
But the weirdest thing is this, though, is that Luka has taken the less shots had 33 attempts and scored 73. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's the least
that's
attempts.
what he wanted is efficiency.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, he's not costing his team. He also got a... Did he get... No, he was 3 assists shy from a triple-double. Yep. But, yeah, I was trying to see how many... He nailed 8 3-pointers.
That's crazy.
That'll do it. That's a good way to pad your stats up there.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, basketball is something else right now. They just... Of all the sports major ones in America, so you get basketball, football, and baseball. More and more, and I know I'm even saying this against baseball, their regular season, to me, is becoming less and less appealing. It just doesn't feel like... It's just... I mean, like, there's too many games.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough guys probably really caring enough.
Yep.
you could turn it on in March, have a good streak, and get yourself in. I don't feel like basketball's in great shape now. Now, playoff basketball is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That's usually generally when I start paying attention more to it. But maybe it's just a lack of. You got the older kind of towards the end of his career, LeBron. You got Steph, who was helped carrying the league. He's starting to get in his mid-30s. So I mean, like Doncic's kind of being the next guy, but. We just don't have a lot of great American players now. It's more European influence.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just, let's face it, Americans like rooting for American players. It's just how it is. So we don't have that next dude necessarily. Who wants to?
Right.
Like John Morant totally threw me off last year. I don't want to root for that guy.
No.
You flashing guns and talking about you being a gangster. You're a professional basketball player, man.
Yeah, go home.
You have responsibilities. You need to cut your entourage out. Like that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be hanging out with dudes who want to be a wannabe gangster kind of guy. He's a great basketball player. He's got plenty of time to kind of right the ship at some point. But he just, I don't know. You even got Victor coming in, but they have such a crappy team around him. Like, it's just not even like that. That's not going to get me to the TV.
Oh, yeah. I think that they'll bring more around him here eventually. It's just going to take time for Victor. It's going to take time. It's going to take time.
They're paying no one right now. Like, I would just go get someone.
Well, I mean, like, they had David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. I mean, Greg Popovich. Dude, that team has done their dynasty. They don't need to make another dynasty. They're going to build around Victor, of course, 100%. What I want to see from Victor coming up after this basketball season, I want to see some weight put on him. He's a little too scrawny for me. Just like with Jared Goff in the offseason with Goff, what I want to see is more athleticism. I want to see him get out there and work on his speed a little bit, his power, his... You know what I mean? I want to see him become more of an athlete. Well, and I think that's what they're going to do with Victor.
Come.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Durant was a string bean when he started. Like, he was...
Still kind of is, though.
Yeah, but he put on enough. Like, not to affect his game. You look at Victor, I mean, he's going to get banged down there. He needs... Once he puts on a little weight and be able to keep his athleticism at the same point. That's a scary dude after a while. But
I mean, like, look at Giannis Antetokounmpo as well. When Giannis came into the league, he was very scrawny too. Then when you look at Mikal Bridges from no other than one of the most funnest teams to watch, was the funnest teams to watch over there in the Hornets. Yeah, man, he did get a little bit of a domestic violence charge, but when he came in the league, he had no tattoos. He looked like a stream bring as well. But then all of a sudden he hits the gym, and this dude is looking like Ben Wallace, bro, with the arms, bro. He's just looking strapped. Like he's ready.
I mean, another thing is we have a team in the league that's only won 6 games.
That's Detroit.
It's Detroit.
It's Detroit.
I mean,
I hate you.
What are we doing? Like,
I hate you. We went on a 23-game losing streak.
Yeah. I think you bring in the soccer model with the NBA and you change everything. You got that G League, and you have regulation.
Yep.
You're the bottom 2 or 3 teams. You're out. Sorry, you're not in the NBA. You go down to the G League. G League champion and like the runner-up.
So is that what you're saying?
Come up.
So is that what you're saying with football as well? Is that what you're saying?
I think regulation in all sports would be awesome.
See, this is what I think should happen.
And my team, you want to stop tanking. You want to stop tanking in all these sports for a better draft pick. Just telling you can't be in the league for a year.
Yeah.
You know, like, you better get your crap together. Hey, we're not going to accept a 1-win team in football. We're not going to accept a 40-win team in baseball. We're not going to accept a 16-win team in basketball.
Yep.
Your ass is out. We bring up the next team. You work your butt off to get back into this position to come back up and play us. And I think that just brings the competitiveness. You are not going to see this crap at them tanking for a first-round pick no more.
I mean, same with Houston. Houston did it last year.
And that's the best thing I love about soccer is how the EuroLeague over there is this regulation, man. Hey, you suck. Go take a go out.
Yep.
Get out of here. Get out of our league. I'd say I would take like basketball and you have 30 teams. I would drop that bad boy down to like 20.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree with you 100%.
Now, if you're a fan of that team, yeah, that would really suck.
Yeah, dude, like Detroit would be bye-bye. But they won't, though, because we have won a couple NBA championship titles, and we do have a lot of Hall of Famers and a lot of MVP. But, once again, though, you never know what will happen with all of it.
Yeah, I love the idea of regulation. I just do. If you want to make your regular season matter more, if you're still going to hang on to 82 games, at least make it like, hey, we don't want to get out of this thing. We better find something. You'll see trades between Detroit and Orlando. Hey, we need your guy now.
Yep.
Just to get out of 15. We got to get up to 12.
Agreed. 100%.
No, well, it's one solution that they'll never do, but that'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. To be strictly, dude, I could see that happen. That'd be pretty cool, actually. Well, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in.
Good job, buddy.
Season 2, episode 1 in the books. Let's close it. There we go. All right, everybody. Be ready for possibly next week. I don't know. It's Valentine's Day, so my job may or may not let me have this Tuesday coming up. That's
next week?
Valentine's Day weekend, yes, sir. It starts, I think, Friday.
Well, my least favorite day is the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
love it because of the money.
Wow, I'm glad you brought in the girlfriend you met 3 hours ago. Stay dinner at my restaurant. Phenomenal. Should I just leave you guys alone? You okay? Cool. Just make sure you tip 20%.
Yeah, just make sure you tip at least a little bit better. Well, all right, everybody, man, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys soon. I'll let you all know. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And it is all in the bio in the YouTube channel. All right, guys, everyone have a good day. We'll see y'all later.